Let's go ahead and work with homework exercise number 13 from section 7.2. In this problem, we need to graph the function using the slope and the y-intercept. Okay, now remember, y equals mx plus b. The coefficient of x is the slope, which in this case it's 1/2, and b, whatever you're adding or subtracting, is the y-intercept. In this case, plus 1 would be a positive 1. So again, the slope is solved for, you already got it for y, is 1/2. The y-intercept is going to be a positive 1 because we're adding 1. So now we're going to graph the y-intercept first, and from there we're going to go up 1 unit and to the right 2 units because that's a positive slope, up and to the right. Vertical change over horizontal change. Okay, now we know it's a line tool, so we'll grab the line tool. We'll plot the y-intercept first, and then we'll go ahead and go up 1 over 2 to indicate use the slope to get a second point. So the first thing is you grab the line tool. Okay, 0, 1 is the y-intercept. Now from there, not from the origin, the slope was what? Up 1 over 2, which would lead us to that point right there. When you get your second point, it automatically gives you a line, and it is correct. Now, you can also do this on your calculator. Remember, you got to put in the equation y equals. So y equals is the rightmost key, or the leftmost key right underneath the calculator screen. So click on y equals. If you have something already in there, click out clear for y1. 1/2 you can put in as 1 divided by 2 times x. You can just put in x. You don't need to times, and then plus 1. Okay, now you can get a general shape of the graph by hitting the graph key. That's the keys along the top or along right below the calculator screen, and there's your graph, which pretty much matches what we had. It does match. But if you were doing this to get the answer, you would need points. Remember, points, you got the table feature. So the table feature is in blue above the graph. So you would hit the second key first, and then the graph, and you get your table of values. And again, if we scroll back, we get 0, 1 is that point right there. And then another point, scroll down, get a whole number, over 2, up 2, there's the second point. So again, the 0, 1 is the y-intercept, right? Right there, 0, 1. And then this point right here, 2, 2, over 2, up 2, that's what we got when we went from the y-intercept of 1 and we went up 1 over 2 using the slope 1/2. Okay? So you can kind of do this paper and pencil or using your calculator. You can do it either way. All right, let's look at number 14. Okay, 14 is y equals a negative 4/5 x plus x. Okay, so y equals a negative 4/5 x plus 5. Okay? Now, what is the slope? The slope is equal to what? The coefficient, or the number in front multiplying x, which is a negative 4/5. Now, since negative 4 is a negative 4 is a negative number, we're going to go down and to the right. But what we have to start at is the y-intercept, and since it's plus 5, the y-intercept is a positive 5. So first graph the y-intercept 0, 5. It crosses the y-axis at 5. From there, we're going to go down 4 and over to the right 5 to get our second point. All right, again, that's using the slope and the y-intercept. So we're going to go ahead and pick the line tool. We know all these are all linear equations, so pick the line tool. The first thing is the y-intercept was as a positive 5, so the point is 0, 5. From there, we said the slope is negative 4, so we go down 4, which would bring us to a positive 1, and over 5, which would bring us to that number. So it would be 5, 1, and there's our answer. So again, we went down 4 over 5 from the y-intercept to get our second point. Now again, on the calculator you can do what? Y equals, okay, we've got a new one in, so press your clear key. This one is a -4 divided by 5, numerator divided by denominator. The x key is right next to the green alpha to put in the x, and then plus 5. And again, we want the values of points, so we would hit just simply second table. And again, there's our 0, 5, 0, 5, and then if we scroll down to get a two whole numbers, 5, 1 is our second point right there. 5 over 5 up 1, same 2 points we got by doing it the slope intercept, or using the intercept and the slope, okay? Those are the exact 2 points. There's your 0, 5, and there's your 5, 1, okay? Let's look at problem number 15. F of x equals 8/9 x, or really you can just think of it as y, right? Y equals 8/9 x, and again, nothing's there, so it's 0, right? So the slope, again, we use m, the number coefficient of x, or the number multiplying x, 8/9, and the y-intercept, since there's nothing there, it would be 0, so that would correspond to the origin. So the y-intercept would be the origin 0, and then from there we're going to go up 8 over 9, right? Okay, so if we do that on our calculator, I'm sorry, not calculator, pencil and paper in MyMathLab, right? We're going to pick our line tool. We know it's a linear equation. The y-intercept is 0, which means one of the points is at the origin 0, 0. Now the slope was what? Up 8 and over 9, which would actually bring us to the point what? 9, 8, right? Because we're going over, up 8 is the y coordinate, which is the second coordinate, and the x coordinate is in the denominator, is the first coordinate, which is 9, all right? So there's our second point. Check our answer, and again, we get the correct answer. So again, we could do this on our calculator. All right, remember, you hit the y equals, right? Y equals, and then we can clear out the previous problem. 8/9 we can put in as 8 divided by 9. The x value is next to the alpha key. So you click on that, you get x, and that's all we have, right? 8/9 times x. And now we can go ahead and hit second graph to get our table values. And there's the one value, the 0, 0, the 1 point, and then just scroll down until you get a whole number, because you can't, 2 whole numbers, because you can't plot a decimal. So there it is, 9, 8. There's our second point, right? Over 9, up 8, or we went up 8 over 9 using the slope, which is 8/9. Okay? Homework exercise number 16. Rewrite 2x plus y equals 0 in slope-intercept form. Give the slope and the y-intercept, graph the equation. So 2x plus y equals 0. We have to what? Slope-intercept is solve for y. Solve for y. Okay, so we would take 2x plus y equals 0. To get rid of the you got y here with adding 2x, so you would subtract 2x, because 2x minus 2x is 0, so you get y by itself, which is what we need, and 0 minus 2x is simply a -2x. So we don't have any y-intercept. So our slope equation is y equals a -2x. So we have to put that entire equation in. You have to put that entire equation into MyMathLab. So we'll put it in y equals a -2x. Okay, now what is the slope? Okay, from previous problems we know what? We got y equals -2x plus 0, right? There's nothing there. So the slope is the coefficient of x, which is -2, and the y-intercept would be what? 0, right? Okay, So the slope is the coefficient of x, which when we solved it, it's a -2. So choose A with a -2. The y-intercept, we said what? Nothing's there, it's 0, right? So the y-intercept is 0. And then graph it. Again, we're going to do what? The y-intercept we just said is 0, 0, which is the origin. And the slope is -2. So we're going to do what? The slope is -2. We're going to go what? Down 2 and over 1 to the right. Correct? A -2. So we will go ahead and, okay, down 2 and over 1 will get us to that point right there. And there's our correct answer. And again, we could have used our calculator, right? We can go ahead and put in y equals, clear out the old one. This one is a -2. X is right next to the green alpha. That's our equation. Again, we want points. So we would do second table I did graph. That's okay. There's the graph. So let's do again second table, second graph, and then again if we go backwards, there's our origin 0, 0, and then our next point is over 1 down 2, right? 0, 0. This point right here is right there, right? And then over 1 down 2 was right there. My orientation's off, and it's also on the graph. And again, we get the same points. You can use any of those points. You'll get it on the graph. So like if you used 5, -10, you would go ahead and you would go down over 5 units, down 10, and you'd be on the line. Any of those points will work. All right, very good. We're going to stop this session at homework exercise number 16. If you have any questions, send me an email at tswers@hodges.edu or call me at 239-938-7805. Thank you.